Welcome, dear listeners, seekers at the crossroads of spirit and matter. Today we will journey into the depths of the sovereign human, exploring what sets them apart from the ordinary citizen. If your heart is hungry for deeper understanding, subscribe and share your thoughts below. Our hearth is always open to those seeking light. Imagine a night sky domed over rolling fields, each star a flicker of potential in the endless fabric. Most wander beneath it, tracing worn paths mapped by others, shaped by governments, traditions, invisible stories inherited at birth. But within some, a vital flame glimmers, the sovereign spark. The sovereign human lives from the center, not from the circumference, an alchemy of heart that transforms inherited fate into conscious destiny.
Rafael, what does it mean, truly, to be a sovereign human? Isn't everyone their own person, at least in some way?
Your question holds a subtle truth, Sirael. Every soul is unique and irreplaceable, as each snowflake or fingerprint. Yet sovereignty goes deeper than individuality. To be sovereign is to become the conscious author of your life, no longer ruled by outer commandments or invisible traditions, but guided by the whisper of your own inmost self. It is less about doing whatever one wants and more about doing what one must, answering the deep call of your purpose, even if it leads you beyond collective norms. Sovereignty is self-mastery born not from control but from intimate relationship with your inner world.
But in practice, how does this look? What does a sovereign person actually do differently in daily life?
The sovereign acts from inner alignment, not from compulsion or mere habit. They cultivate presence, choosing rather than reacting. In conversation, they listen deeply and answer with integrity, not just to please or conform. If faced with injustice, they do not justify silence with fear of judgment, they speak with a steady voice, rooted in their own moral compass. Sovereignty can appear quiet or bold, but it is always authentic. Small daily acts, saying no when one means no, or yes from real conviction, become sacred rituals of claiming one's power. The inner life is reflected in the simplest choices.
Is sovereignty something we are born with, or something we have to develop through effort?
We are born with its seed, a latent royalty deep within, as natural as the impulse in an acorn to become an oak. Yet, like all great art, it must be cultivated through trials, reflection, and courage. Life's experiences, wounds, joys, losses, prepare the ground for sovereignty to take root. We grow into it through honest self-inquiry and by embracing our own shadows and gifts. It is both inherent and achieved, the dance of grace and discipline.
Why do so few people seem sovereign, while most follow the crowd? Is it fear that holds us back?
Fear is powerful, fear of rejection, of instability, of being cast out from the familiar herd. Our cultures are designed to mold citizens, not sovereigns, for conformity serves order while sovereignty awakens chaos and creativity. Many avoid self-authorship because it asks us to stand alone at times, to bear the pain of misunderstanding. Yet inside every reluctance is a deeper longing to be free. Nearly always, what holds us back is not lack of ability, but unwillingness to face our own depths.
Does sovereignty mean living in isolation, separate from society?
No. True sovereignty is not withdrawal, but conscious participation. It is not the hermit in the cave, though solitude can be sacred, but the human who walks in the market or city with undivided presence. The sovereign engages with society, but does not become lost in its dreams. They may seem alone, but in truth, their heart is open, encountering each being as a mystery to meet, not an audience to please. They are connected from within, not dependent upon external approval.
Can a sovereign human still love and care deeply about others?
Beautifully, yes. In fact, their love is often deeper, because it arises from freedom instead of need. The sovereign does not use others to fill an emptiness, their generosity flows from fullness. They practice compassion without self-betrayal. This love honors the other's sovereignty as well, inviting relationship that is not built on possession, but on mutual recognition of sacred autonomy. Such love is both a gift and a revolution.
Are there dangers in becoming sovereign? Can it lead to arrogance or selfishness?
Every great power contains its shadow, and sovereignty is no exception. If cultivated only with the intellect, without humility, it can become prideful, a crown worn from ego, not essence. True sovereignty blends strength with humility, remembering that life itself is the ultimate sovereign. The moment you imagine yourself above others, you lose the heart of sovereignty, which is always rooted in service to the wholeness. Integrity keeps the sovereign from becoming a tyrant.
How does a sovereign being relate to authority, like governments, laws, or leaders?
The sovereign respects outer authority only if it aligns with inner truth. They honor just laws, but will not obey injustice, even at personal cost. Their loyalty is to the wisdom of the heart, not blind obedience to power. If a leader inspires authentic growth and serves the greater good, the sovereign supports them; if not, they dissent with dignity. Their relationship to authority is discerning, not automatic. They refuse to abdicate conscience to collective will.
Can you be sovereign and still make mistakes, or does it mean always being right?
To be sovereign is to embrace one's fallibility with grace. Mistakes are not shameful but are teachers, portals into deeper understanding. The sovereign learns from errors without self-condemnation, for their worth does not depend on unbroken perfection. It is the willingness to face and integrate one's own failures that forges real mastery. The sovereign is both king and student of their own life.
You speak of the inner compass. How can someone find or recognize their own truth, versus just following impulses or desires?
The inner compass is discovered through honest self-exploration and silence. Not every desire is true will, not every urge is wisdom. The sovereign cultivates a quiet dialogue with the heart, a patient listening beneath the noise of passing moods. Practices like contemplation, journaling, or mindful observation can clarify which voices arise from ego or fear, and which are echoes of the deeper self. Your truth has a distinct resonance. It brings a sense of clarity and peace, even amid uncertainty.
Is it possible for someone to be sovereign if they live in a country that restricts freedom or enforces conformity?
External circumstances shape the form sovereignty may take, but they do not determine its possibility. Even under oppression, the inner attitude can remain free, the choice of how to respond, what to believe, what meaning to create. History is filled with souls who, denied external liberty, maintained profound inner autonomy: artists, mystics, visionaries, dissenters. Sovereignty is ultimately a matter of consciousness, not condition.
If sovereignty is so important, why does society seem to discourage it?
Sovereignty can threaten established structures, it questions dogma and refuses easy answers. Systems thrive on predictability, order maintained by consensus and compromise. The sovereign brings unpredictability, creativity, innovation, and sometimes disruption. Yet paradoxically, without sovereign individuals, societies stagnate, lose vitality, and drift into tyranny or decay. The tension between sovereignty and conformity is ancient, creative, and necessary.
Does sovereignty require rejecting community or shared traditions?
Not at all. The sovereign does not reject community, but seeks to transform it into conscious fellowship, community formed by choice, not compulsion. Traditions can be beautiful vessels for meaning. The difference lies in whether one holds them with awareness or simply follows out of fear or habit. The sovereign can honor the wisdom of ancestors and participate in rituals, provided these serve the soul's authentic unfolding.
What role do emotions play in sovereignty? Should one suppress feelings to stay sovereign?
Emotions are not enemies, but messengers. They reveal what is living inside us. Suppression breeds inner division, while sovereignty seeks integration. The sovereign meets their emotions honestly, neither indulging nor being ruled by them, but listening for their underlying message. Anger might indicate a boundary has been crossed, sadness, a longing unmet. Bringing feeling into awareness gives strength and wisdom to the heart's choices.
If someone feels powerless, overwhelmed by life, how can they begin to reclaim their sovereignty?
Begin where you are, with one honest breath. Recognize that feeling powerless is itself a message, inviting you to see where you have handed away your authority, perhaps to beliefs, expectations, or external pressures. Take a single small action in alignment with your truth, even if it is simply saying no or yes where you previously remained silent. Each conscious act is a reclaiming of your inner throne. Consistent small steps create momentum and self-trust.
How do you know if you are truly sovereign, or just telling yourself a story about it?
Self-deception is subtle. The test of sovereignty is inner congruence. Do your actions align with your professed values, not only in public but in solitude? Does your heart feel lighter, stronger, and clearer, or filled with tension and justification? The sovereign does not need to proclaim their state, it naturally radiates in their presence, choices, and steadiness in crisis. Authentic sovereignty is lived, not announced.
What is the greatest challenge the sovereign faces in the modern world?
Distraction and fragmentation. The modern world is designed to scatter attention, erode depth, and seduce us into endless comparison. The greatest challenge is to remain anchored in your own depths, to attend to the voice within amid the noise outside. It is the discipline of presence, returning again and again to yourself, amidst a sea of temptations to flee into superficiality.
Does being sovereign mean you never feel fear again?
Fear remains part of the human tapestry. Sovereignty does not eliminate fear, but transforms our relationship to it. Instead of being ruled by fear, the sovereign sees it clearly, feels it fully, and acts wisely. Fear becomes a doorway to growth, not a prison. The presence of fear is not failure, it is opportunity and invitation to deeper courage and acceptance.
Can the sovereign path be lonely?
Sometimes. There are moments on the inner path when you feel set apart, misunderstood, even exiled from collective consensus. Yet, in this solitude, you also discover a profound sense of belonging to your own soul, and to the world beyond surfaces. In time, you will also find fellow sovereigns, rare and precious, drawn by the shared resonance of authenticity. What once felt lonely becomes a sacred solitude, from which love pours out.
In practical terms, how can someone protect their sovereignty from manipulation by media, institutions, or charismatic individuals?
Cultivate inner stillness and critical awareness. Question the origin of every belief or impulse. Is this truly mine, or did I inherit it? Practice discernment. Do not surrender your judgment to slogans, trends, or group emotion. Limit your exposure to sources that breed fear, division, or dependency. Nourish your soul with art, nature, and reflective silence. When something resonates, let it do so deeply and slowly. Truth wears patience, manipulation urges haste.
Are some people meant to be sovereign, and others meant to follow? Is it a destiny for only a few?
Sovereignty is the birthright of all, though not all claim it in this lifetime. Some choose comfort, others are called to the solitary road of self-governance. Destiny unfolds according to the soul's hunger for growth. Yet even the smallest act of autonomy plants seeds, and those seeds can awaken unexpectedly. The possibility sleeps in every heart, waiting for the right season to break open.
What does Jungian psychology teach us about sovereignty?
Jung teaches that sovereignty is achieved through individuation, the lifelong journey of integrating the conscious and unconscious, light and shadow. To become sovereign is to reconcile the many selves within, to bring the deeper self to the throne of personality. The sovereign is not one who has no shadow, but one who befriends and illuminates it. Wholeness, not perfection, is the goal.
What is the connection between sovereignty and spiritual awakening?
Spiritual awakening reveals the soul's freedom beyond inherited identities and collective narratives. To awaken spiritually is to realize the divinity within your own being, the source of all true sovereignty. The sovereign human is not merely self-possessed but God-possessed, an agent of the infinite manifesting through the finite. Spiritual sovereignty marries humility with power, rooted in the sacredness of all life.
Will the sovereign path always be misunderstood or resisted by others?
Often, yes, at first. Authenticity challenges collective defenses, it reveals unasked questions and forbidden desires. Some will resist, others will be inspired, your path becomes a mirror to those around you. The sovereign accepts misunderstanding as part of the work, it walks gently, without seeking to impose. In time, respect grows, and some may even begin to remember their own sovereignty through your example.
If someone wants to begin claiming their sovereignty now, what single step would you advise?
Tonight, as your day ends, find a quiet space. Place your hand upon your heart and ask, what is one small truth I have not yet honored in my life? Commit to take a single action that reflects this truth, no matter how humble. In honoring even one authentic impulse, you rekindle the royal fire within. Let this be your beginning, the path unfolds with each brave, honest step. If this dialogue has stirred something within you, let us continue this journey together. Share your reflections, questions, or experiences in the comments, and subscribe to nurture your sovereign spark. The world needs your truth.